Hey everyone, I'm Nickel, and this is the Roottrees I did. This is part 4, and oh my god, what an awesome game this is. It's so cozy. I feel like a real detective, sifting through evidence, looking at documents, and figuring out the Roottree family tree. Now there are a few things I'd like to keep an eye on today. Number 1, what is this top secret document? I want to open it so bad. Number 2, who is our top secret employer? And why have they employed us? And number 3, what is the truth behind this family man propaganda around Elias at the top of the Roottree family tree? What's that covering up for? And we're going to start thinking about a new mystery today. We're continuing on with Lauren's journals, and she's going to give us our first mention of Sam. Now, what's the deal with Sam? He's not a relative, but he's at all the family events. He's just a lowly farmhand, but yet mentioning his name makes the Five Pieces uncomfortable. What's going on there? We've got some facts to piece together, a family tree to sort out, so let's get right to it.
Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
So while I was editing the last couple of episodes, I did make a few notes, and we'll go through those notes one by one. The first is, we can probably get Charles' picture from the same magazine that we got this guy's picture from, and I just tried to do that. I've had my second filming incident. This time I filmed without my microphone in front of me. I did try and look for him. Periodicals, I changed Elias Roottree here to Charles Roottree, and nothing relevant to our search comes up. I don't know why they'd have the old magazine but not the new one, so I'll cross that off. The second is that Gwyneth is obviously a housewife, right? That's obviously her job. And yes, it is a job. It is a job. I've been on TikTok. I've heard the persuasive arguments. Alright. Gwyneth is a housewife, and we'll try first president here. There we go. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked in. So we got the actor. You've also locked the following optional entries. None. Booyah. Excellent. So the next one is that Lauren's father is called Pop. First things first. In the image, so there's no P, so Pop is a nickname. So we don't have a Pop, alright? So that doesn't help us at all. Next is that Lauren's son is Clark. That was in the second document. And are we on Lauren's page? No, we're on Gwen's page. Let's go on Lauren's page. While I'm stuck here with Clark. So, I think that... No, that's not... So, we don't have Lauren. So we actually can't put that anywhere. We don't have Lauren. Alright. So we've gotten rid of 3 stars. We have Carl, Jim, Lauren, and Miracle Jr. left. So this would have to be Miracle Jr. Unless some funny business was going on. That would have to be Miracle Jr., which would mean that there are 2 stars and 2 names left. Three names at 3 stars. Jim, Lauren, Carl. Jim, Lauren, and Carl. There are the 3. Now let's watch here as I add Clark to the list of notable Roottrees. He's not a notable Roottree. I just made that up for some reason. And now it's going to lead to about 5 minutes of confusion. So we'll keep that in mind. Jim, Lauren, and Clark. And Clark must be these 3. Is there any... Oh, Carl. Of course. Of course that's Carl. So, where's another star? That's Carl, Jim, Lauren, and Clark. Am I going crazy here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Miracle Jr. and Carl are done. Or we've placed them. Miracle Jr. and Carl. And that leaves Lauren and Clark. or Lauren and Clark. Clark. In one of those orders. So we'll keep reading Lauren's documents. Lauren's son is Clark. What? So if Lauren's son is Clark, and if Lauren's son is Clark, oh, there's no Clark here. What am I doing? What's going on? Jim is the other one. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. So Jim and Lawrence, there's no Clark. Okay. Okay, never mind. We're gonna come back to this later. We were going through Lawrence's documents, and we're gonna continue to do that. So, we've done this one. Now for this one. An entry titled Dynasty from Lauren Roottree's diary written in 1958. It focuses on the day her grandfather, Elias, announced he would step down as president of the Roottree Candy Company and the meeting to determine its successor. Excellent. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottree name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. So it's probably not Roottree, right? Because Pop argued that the company should stay with our branch since we still have the Roottree name. Does that imply that Zach doesn't have the Roottree name? So next president, second president, probably doesn't have Roottree. But hold on, he'd have to have Roottree because he's a son, so he must be Roottree. Unless, no, unless he's, no, because Zach is part of the same generation as Lauren. So his mother was, mother is Roottree. Let's add a page for future generation. Let's just go back a bit. So the free spirits. Wait, the generation after Lawrence. So the next generation we want. The next generation has Zach, Clancy, save that for now. Instead, it ended up going to Zach, even though his surname doesn't match the candy. Ah, okay, there we go. So Zach's surname does not match the candy. So let's go back to Zach. So I could have just read to the next line and then wouldn't have had to do all that deduction. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Okay. The firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad had always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. And I'm the next oldest, so hold on. Descending age, Angie, Zach, Lauren. And we should put Lauren in here as well. Get rid of older than Zach. Okay. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back, maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Uh-oh. So Zach is... That's this one. Zach is this one. And Zach is the firstborn son of the firstborn Roottree. So... So Zach is one of these two. I wonder if we can figure out whether he's the oldest real quick, just before we go back to the document. I know we're jumping around quite a bit. Ah, but he's not Roottree. He's something else. So there's Zach Wilson and Zach Morden. Zach Morden? Okay. So back to Lauren's documents. We are jumping around quite a bit. So are we... So let's go on to Zach. Looks like he samples the product. Excellent. Alright, next, Sam. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Roottree's diary written in 1963. From a previous entry you learned that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two, but I was told, trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize." Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys... Okay. Including Miracle's boys, so they're both boys. Spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize the mystery of why Sam is being included. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way back to work. Upon hearing that Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are on the books. So I wonder if Sam's like an illegitimate child. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, okay. Whoa, there's two Elis. So hold on. So is it... Yeah, oldest to youngest. So Eli. Ah. Eli, Miracle's youngest. Even chimed in. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Interesting, we have one more page. So that might be like an illegitimate child of some sort, or something like that. Alright, final page. One of the final entries, called Clark, from Lauren Rootree's diary, written in 1964. Clark's getting married, and, in my opinion, far too young. So do we have Clark? We don't have Clark. Too many pages. Clark's getting married. He's barely 18. For God's sake. And Danielle isn't much older. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. So... we should just read the whole document before we start, we don't even have Lauren, so we can't even fill in Jacob. Okay. Jacob and I got married at 16. But we can actually put that in a thing, so... Lauren... So... Jacob... Rafferty is her husband. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. But that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. So that would mean that Clark... Do we have Carl? We don't have Carl. Anyway. Maybe I'm just getting old. So maybe Carl is a generation lower? Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. As for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. So, Zach has a sister? And that doesn't help us with figuring out whether he's first or not. Gwyn is Gwyn, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. So Gwyn was divorced, and we know that already. She even told us that she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the free spirits, in any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. So I'm wondering if I've got this right. Are the free spirits are the ones under? And let's just do this, like, we'll make sure we got these in order. So we'll put 5 pieces on the very top. 5 pieces, the first generation. Lauren's father was in this generation. The next generation. The next generation. And then free spirits. So, descending age, Angie, Zach. If Angie is the very oldest between all of them, then that would mean that, yeah, that still doesn't help us with whether Zach is the firstborn or not. And the free spirits. Okay, so she was complaining about the free spirits here in this book. So we'll highlight the free spirits. Like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. Okay. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. Carl's father is Clancy. Okay. We don't want to... not here. Okay, let's just manually enter that in. Okay, so I think that's all we can glean from her diary for now. We have one more thing I want to do real quick. I know we're running... So I want to look up a periodical. MMM. MMM. And the... It might even be a book. It might not be a periodical. Jim Roottree. Okay. Diamonds. La Rue. So is it a book? The author is... Peter... Jankovics? Ah! Oh, Jenna Wicks. Copy. Okay, so it's not a book. MMM is not a book, and it's not a periodical. Okay. Alright, we have gone through the rest of Lauren's journal, and now it will be time to do some deduction. But first, that's it for the episode. These, when you're doing 30-minute episodes, these fly by real fast. So we've got the clues now, we just need to synthesize them. We got that one, you know, locked in, that's those 3 names locked in, we gotta get another 3, and I think we've got enough to do it, if we just do some thinking. So alright, thanks for watching, catch you next time.